Looking at the G7 countries, we wonder which country will be the first to fail? Which country will be the canary in the coal mine? Canada, US, France, UK, Germany, Italy, and Japan. The highest debt to GDP is owned by Japan, 226%. But the debt is mainly owned by the Japanese people themselves, which puts it in a class all its own. Italy has improved its fiscal situation, 138% debt to GDP under Giorgia Meloni, the conservative leader, and Germany, 66% debt to GDP, has always reined in its expenses using a debt brake. France, 120%, and the UK, 105%, are basket cases with debt to GDP similar to Canada's at 110%. Who do you think will fail first? We believe Canada will be the first to become insolvent because the country hasn't balanced a budget in over 30 years. Let's look at other countries that are struggling with debt. Senegal has one of the highest debt-to-GDP ratios, 156% of GDP, and recently announced plans to close 19 government agencies, a move that is expected to save around 55 billion CFA francs, $98 million, over the next 3 years. The closures will impact nearly 1,000 employees and are part of broader efforts to streamline government spending and control debt. Other African countries, such as Nigeria and Ghana, have struggled with similar issues, but few have implemented effective agency downsizing. Senegal has borrowed heavily to fund infrastructure, cover budget deficits, respond to pandemic shocks, and manage security challenges. Sounds familiar? The country's bold cost-cutting measures highlight a growing debate across Africa about the need to prune redundant or ineffective state agencies. Many African governments maintain overlapping institutions that siphon off federation or national funds, often with little measurable impact on public services. Countries such as Nigeria, Ghana, and Kenya have periodically announced audits or downsizing exercises, but few have executed large-scale closures with tangible results. Nigeria, in particular, provides a stark example of how bloated government bureaucracies can drain national revenue. A report in 2011 recommended cutting the number of ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs, from 541 to 161, abolishing 38 agencies, merging 52 others, and reverting 14 agencies back to departments within their parent ministries. These recommendations were largely ignored. Today, Nigeria has over 800 MDAs, many of which overlap or serve little public purpose. Canada's economy, with a GDP of $2.3 trillion, is almost 70 times greater than Senegal's. Canada has 130 departments plus hundreds of agencies, all depending on the public purse. They employ 360,000 employees, 22% of total workforce, and spend huge sums of taxpayer money. They overlap, and many serve no public purpose. Senegal has 35 departments and a relatively small number of employees, around 6% of the total workforce. So, eliminating 19 government agencies in Senegal is a big deal and shows leadership on the debt reduction front. The only cuts the Carney government has promised is a slow reduction in the federal workforce over the next few years. They estimate a total of 25,000 jobs will be eliminated, mostly from employees taking retirement. From 2015 to 2026, the federal workforce exploded with 100,000 new workers, so these cuts will hardly make a dent in the cost of running the government. The Carney government has done nothing to rein in expenses at government departments and agencies. No programs have disappeared, and the government keeps piling up deficits as no government has ever done before them. Senegal's experience provides a critical lesson for African governments. Reducing the size and controlling the overall cost of government is not optional. It is essential for economic stability. It is unfortunate that Canada has never followed such wise advice. Insolvent in 5 is produced by Cinegraphica Media.